back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a bit different than usual. Usually on my channel we do a challenge, but in the description of my channel it says I do more than just challenges. So today I decided to change it up a bit and do a craft/tutorial video. So a lot of people in my class have been liking my squishy pencil toppers, so that is exactly what we are going to be making today. I'm going to be showing you how to make squishy pencil toppers that you can put on top of your pencils and squish. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a cake squishy. The first thing you're going to want to get is some makeup sponges that are kind of shaped triangular or in a similar shape as this makeup sponge I have here. And the next thing you're going to do is cut a hole in the bottom. I already did that. You can see I already cut my hole. The next thing you're going to do is pick the colors. I already have picked my colors out, and I'm going to be painting my squishy with that. This other sponge was in case I messed up, but I'll put that up there. So the first thing you do is start painting. Once you have your colors picked out, which I already do, you need to map out a design. I already know how I want mine to look. Puffy paint is very good to use on smaller squishies like this. If you ever painted a bigger squishy, you might want to get fabric paints because this takes several coats, but for smaller squishies like this, puffy paint works just fine. It won't cause any hard spots or anything in your squishies. So let's get started. First, I'm going to take this top part, which is going to be the frosting of my cake. I'm going to paint that in blue, this light blue color. Make sure I'm painting on the right side. And this is a very nice color, you guys. I really like it. So we are going to have to use a few coats of this to really get the color to stick on. So right now I'm just going to try to paint the whole top surface, and then we can worry about another coat when the first coat's finished. One coat does not have to fully dry before you're painting on another coat. You just paint right on top of that first coat. And it's okay to get some paint on the edges because I might be painting a little bit of the sides too. So look, there's frosting there too. Because I don't think I've ever seen a cake before, you guys, that has frosting on just the top. Have you guys ever seen a cake with frosting on the top only? I know I have not. I know most realistic cakes have frosting on the entire thing, but that's not what I'm going for here. I want people to be able to see some of the inside of the cake too. That's why it's a cake slice. So I'm just painting it on the sides a little and the top, because it's just a squishy, so it doesn't have to be perfectly realistic. Like there's other squishy channels on YouTube where they make like all sorts of stuff like pink trees.
You're gonna paint the back?
And I am gonna paint the back too, like there's frosting going down the back. So I might need to get a little bit more blue paint coming in while I paint some of the back. So I'm getting more blue paint in while I'm painting the back of the squishy.
Magic paint.
I do love to do crafts. That's why I already had all of this craft material. You can find all this craft material Walmart, Target, basically any craft store you go into, or the craft section of any like grocery store or store in general will probably have these materials. If you see me rubbing paint on the top when I'm working on the back, it's because I get a little bit too much paint in one layer, and I don't want to waste the paint, so I don't want it globbing up on my squishy and causing any hard spots, so I rub some on the top too. So you also may be wondering why I'm applying it with a popsicle stick instead of a paintbrush. That's because it applies in more smooth layers when you're using a popsicle stick, especially when using puffy paint. It makes the paint be a bit more thicker and you don't have to use as many coats. You still cannot get away with one coat, you have to use many, but you can use far less when using a popsicle stick. I like to use a paintbrush for smaller details. You can see I have paintbrushes over here, but I will be using those later in the video when doing painting on some sprinkles, because this is going to be a funfetti cake with blue frosting and some like yellow frosting in the middle. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but I just didn't find the right time to do it, so I'm really happy I get to do it now. And when going into popsicle stick, it's also helpful because it has a smooth edge on it, so you can go through and smooth out some of those bigger clumps of paint that you don't want to see later in the squishy. Okay, that's coat number 1, but I think I'm going to go in with another coat just to make that color a bit brighter when it dries. For coat number 2, you don't need as much paint on your popsicle stick. You can just kind of let it be a thin layer, since this is your second coat of paint.
Looks real good.
So I think my squishy is turning out pretty well so far. And then you can use old makeup sponges that you don't need anymore. You can use makeup sponges in general. You can find basically anywhere that you go to for these squishies. And any type of paint will work on these squishies, just acrylic paint will make hard spots in your squishy, so I would try to avoid using acrylic paint if at all possible. If you're okay with hard spots, then go ahead and use it, but I just wouldn't recommend it because it creates huge amounts of hardness in your squishy and it won't be very squishy. And the whole point of calling it a squishy is because you're supposed to be able to squish it. Okay, now for coat number 2 on the back of my squishy. The whole purpose of 2 coats is to get the color building up and make sure that the paint is staying on and that it's not going to flake off really easily. Because one problem that a lot of people have with squishies is how much it flakes and flakes and flakes and flakes. There's always a bunch of cracking and stuff like that. So you just need to make sure that it stays there for a long time and that we get a lot of use out of our squishies. And there is a thing of squishy makeovers where you can repaint your squishies at any time. So if the paint starts cracking, you can always just repaint over that to make a whole new design of your squishy. Or if you mess up, you can paint over that once it dries. So yeah. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a funfetti cake. So you're asking, why would I use sprinkles? I might put some different colors of sprinkles on the top and then have funfetti sprinkles going through the middle. Okay, I think that's enough of the paint. I might smooth it out a little bit. So I think it turned out pretty good so far. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to get glue on my hands more than I already have. But so now I'm going to try to turn my stick over.
She's another stick, honey.
And paint again, but I can use that later if I need it.
Go.
Okay, now that I have a new popsicle stick, I'm going to go in with the yellow, which is going to be the filling of my cake. So I don't need a lot. I can just kind of run the edge of my popsicle stick through the yellow so I can make a nice neat little line. I am using puffy paint for this squishy, and you may be asking, why don't I just apply it from the jar, especially when I'm doing stuff like the filling and I need a nice neat line. Well, that's actually because if you apply it from the bottle, you normally make lumpy lines. And if you're like me and you like to decorate your pumpkins at Halloween time with puffy paint, it's okay to have a bit of a texture in your lines. But when it comes to squishies, it's best to apply thinner lines. It's best to get thinner lines with a popsicle stick or a paintbrush. So this squishy is turning out very, very good so far, I think. And instead of continuing this line, I'm going to start again on the other side and make my two lines meet. Try to line that up as best as possible. Also, if you aren't even going to use the squishy, it's just very soothing to do this. That's another reason I like crafting, because you can make a lot of cool stuff for much cheaper than you can buy them in a store. And it's just really relaxing and fun if you take the time to do this, to sit around and do crafts. It can very much so relax you and just make you happy, or at least that's what it does for me. I love to draw and paint and just do crafts in general. Crafting is very much fun for me. That's why I've been waiting to do this video for a long time, and I was happy when I got the chance to do it, because I'm like, I want to do a crafting video so bad, but I really got hooked on doing challenges because I noticed I got a lot of views on some of my other videos when I was doing challenges, so I wanted to get views. Okay, let's check the other side and make sure that the lines are even. Yep, how even that is pretty good. I can turn my squishy around so you can see this side, guys. I think I did a pretty good job. Okay, so now I'm going to be going in with one of my paint brushes. Probably like this one. Mixing it up. Or maybe this one, because it's kind of stiff and that's going to be good for doing smaller lines like sprinkles. So next I'm going to be doing sprinkles. You can see I have a wide variety of colors here I'm going to be using for sprinkles, so this is going to be pretty fun. After I do that, over here I made some paper sprinkles that you can just make by cutting up paper and coloring it, or using colored paper such as and or you can paint on sprinkles, but you have to wait for that to dry, so I might be applying another coat of the blue to apply the sprinkles on top later. The first color I'm going to use for sprinkles is the red paint. Get a little bit on the edge, that might be a little too much. It's going to make thin little lines, that's perfect. And another thin little line. It's a little thick, but that's okay. Perfect, that's enough. Red sprinkles, maybe I might do like one more. Perfect. And that's a little thick, that's okay. And perfect, okay. Now I'm going to try to wipe my paintbrush off. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's check. Yep, that's good. Okay, for my next color, I'm going to be using orange. Turn that back around. And try to lightly touch the top. Semi-dry. I am gonna have to apply another coat for sprinkles, but it is semi-wet though. So I'm gonna use orange next. Since there isn't a little bit of much paint here, I'm gonna try to make quite a few orange sprinkles. But I might have to make a few coats because that is one of the thinnest colors that I have. Here, there. Yeah, I am gonna have to do another coat. Oh yeah. Okay, coat number 2.
It's too much paint.
Yeah. Try to wipe some of that off. There. Okay, coat number 2. And guys, it's not just important to do this so that the color is better. If you're okay with the colors, that's okay. But I just also like to smooth out the paint so I don't have any weird textures in my squishy, which I discussed at the beginning of this video. But I do like vibrant colors in my squishies. As some of my classmates may know, because I do have some other squishies that are pretty crazy looking. But I think this one's turning out pretty good. Okay, wipe off my paintbrush again. So I can do another color. The next color I'm going to use is this purple. I've been waiting to use this color because if you didn't notice, my favorite color is purple. So I'm going to try to use a lot of the purple because I want to see it in my squishy. Perfect.
That looks really good.
Another sprinkle here. Here. And there. And now I might need one more coat on this one right here because it did turn out a little bit light. Like that. Okay. I think that looks good. There's just a tiny bit of room left for the dark blue color. So I'm going to wipe my paintbrush off again. So sad to see purple go. This is a very nice color. So I think it'll look...
It's the best blue color.
Not trying to offend anyone. That's just my mother's opinion.
It's her opinion too.
I don't know why my mother has had to share that with the world. My class already knows that, but... Okay, more blue sprinkles. I think it's going to look very nice with the purple, you guys. They look very nice on the palette next to each other, or paper plate I'm using as a palette. So I hope they look nice on the squishy. At first I was questioning using this darker blue with this blue, but it is darker. You can definitely see that, but you will get to see that once I turn my squishy back around. So I think it ended up okay. The one in the corner is going to need another coat, but I'll come back to that. Okay. More paint. More paint. Okay. There is a bit more room over here. So, more blue. Blue. And now blue. 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 Okay. Now I'm doing that second coat on that other sprinkle. Okay. So I think the funfetti in the middle of my cake is finished. Wiping off my brush. Good. It's pretty good. It doesn't really have to be perfect because I'm not using that paintbrush anymore. Time to switch back over to popsicle stick. Touch the top a little. Kind of wet, but it's going to need another coat so that I can apply my sprinkles. You could sprinkle them on like a normal person, but I'm going to try to place them because I want them to look even. So here goes another coat on the top. I'm going to make it really thin so it doesn't look too different from the backs, just enough so I can apply sprinkles. I don't want sprinkles all over, so I have to paint all sides of the top of my squishy. A little more of the paint. Making sure I don't mess up my sprinkles, and that's smooth and nice and perfect. Okay, that's good enough to add sprinkles, and then once my squishy dries, I will be able to have them permanently stuck on because if they dry down in the paint, they'll be stuck there forever. That sounded evil when I said it, but it's not. Oh, that completely missed the squishy. Kind of. Go on that time. Not in exactly the place I wanted it, but sure. We can put another sprinkle there. One of my smaller sprinkles. I think my sushi is going to turn out very nice. Put one right there. I don't want to overuse the pink sprinkles, but then on the other hand, there's like, I don't want to overuse any of the colors, because when you're using only two colors, you always feel like you're overusing one of the colors. Oh my gosh, go on. Put another blue one. I don't want to make the same colors be too close together. You guys probably understand that. Unless you're a normal person who just randomly sprinkles on their sprinkles. Because they're called sprinkles. I'm pretty sure they're meant to be sprinkled. But if you're like me and like to make things as perfect as possible, then do it the way I'm doing it. I'm going to do just a tiny bit more with the smaller blue sprinkles, like right here. Go where I want you to go. And then the little tiny pink one right here. Okay, I think that's good on sprinkles. If you're like me, there's never too many sprinkles. I like sprinkles. And I really think they're good. So here's the finished squishy. You can rotate it. Sorry if my hand gets in the way. I'm not like the cool YouTubers who have those cool spinny things that spin your squishies around. The color of my hand, but that's to be expected with this kind of project. I really do like all the sprinkles I painted in the middle, think that really just makes the squishy with the funfetti flavored cake and stuff, and rather different. The sprinkles on top really give it a nice touch, which I really like. And so I think this video was a total success. Comment down below what you guys thought of it. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. And I'm sorry I'm a little late with my post. I know I normally post my videos on Saturdays, but I was really busy yesterday, so I had to make my post today. And so if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe down below, and don't forget to like the video. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.